That evening, the walls felt eternal. Stone beneath your hands. Stone that had stood for 1,000 years. Stone that would stand, you believed, for 1,000 more. You are a guard of Constantinople. Not a soldier of fortune. Not a mercenary seeking glory. Just a man who walks these walls each night. Who knows every crack in the ancient stones. Every place where the mortar has worn thin. Every spot where the setting sun catches marble and turns it gold. This is your watch. As it was your father's watch before you. As it was his father's before him. 3 generations standing on these walls. 3 generations keeping the city safe through darkness. The sun is setting now. Slowly. The way it always sets over Constantinople. Painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. Touching the domes of churches with fire. Making the golden horn shine like its name. You stand at your post on the Theodosian walls. The great walls. The famous walls. The walls that have never fallen. They rise behind you in triple layers. Inner wall. Outer wall. Moat between them. Stone upon stone upon stone. Built by Emperor Theodosius 1,000 years ago. Rebuilt after earthquakes. Repaired after sieges. Standing through everything history has thrown at them. Below you, the city breathes. Constantinople. The city of Constantine. The new Rome. The queen of cities. Home to 500,000 souls once. Now perhaps 1/10 of that remain. The city has grown smaller over the years. Some districts stand empty. Some churches have fallen into disrepair. But the heart still beats. The great church of Hagia Sophia still stands. Its massive dome still catches light. Still draws the eye. Still reminds everyone who sees it that this city was built to last forever. You can see it from here. Rising above other buildings. Dominating the skyline. Even in fading light, it is unmistakable. Your father took you inside once when you were a child. The vastness of it overwhelmed you. The dome seemed to float. Suspended by divine will rather than human engineering. Light poured through windows. Turned the air itself into something golden. Something holy. You remember standing there. Small and silent. Feeling the weight of centuries. Feeling the presence of God in stone and light. That memory stays with you. Even now. Even as you stand on these walls, far from that sacred space. It reminds you what you are protecting. Not just buildings. Not just stones and mortar. But history itself. Faith itself. The continuation of something that began when Rome was young. You shift your weight. Leather straps of your armor creak. The sound is familiar. Comforting in its own way. Your sword hangs at your side. A simple blade. Nothing fancy. But well maintained. Sharp. Ready. You hope you will not need it tonight. You hope you will not need it ever. But hoping does not change reality. And reality has been pressing closer these past weeks. The Ottoman army arrived almost 2 months ago. You watched them come. Thousands upon thousands of men. Tents spreading across the land like a great canvas sea. Banners snapping in wind. The crescent moon and star flying over everything. Sultan Mehmed commands them. Young Mehmed. Only 21 years old, they say. But ambitious. Driven. Determined to accomplish what his father and grandfather could not. To take Constantinople. To end the Byzantine Empire. To plant his banner on the walls where you now stand. The siege has been long. Artillery bombardment during the day. Silence during night. A pattern that has repeated itself for weeks. The walls have held. Damaged, yes. Cracked in places. But holding. Always holding. Defenders have repaired breaches each night. Working by torchlight. Piling stones. Mixing mortar. Shoring up defenses. Ready for the next day's assault. It has become routine. In a strange way. The rhythm of siege. As natural as sunrise and sunset. You have grown accustomed to the sound of cannons. The way walls shake. The dust that fills air. The shouts of men when a section collapses. The relief when you realize it is not your section. Not your watch. Not your responsibility in that moment. But tonight is different. You can feel it. Something in the air has changed. The Ottoman camp is quieter than usual. Fires burn, yes. You can see them in the distance. Thousands of small lights marking where the army waits. But there is less noise. Less movement. As if everyone is holding their breath. Waiting for something. You are not the only one who feels it. Other guards on the wall are restless. pacing, checking their weapons, staring out into gathering dark. One of them, Andreas, comes to stand beside you. He is older than you by 20 years, gray in his beard, lines around his eyes from squinting into too many sunrises. He has seen more sieges than you have seen harvests. Quiet tonight, he observes. You nod. Too quiet. He grunts in agreement. I do not like it. Neither do you. But there is nothing to be done except wait. And watch. And hope that tomorrow brings nothing worse than another day of bombardment. Andreas moves on to check the next guard. You are alone again. Wind picks up slightly. It carries the smell of sea. Constantinople sits between two bodies of water. The Bosphorus to the east. The Golden Horn to the north. The Sea of Marmara to the south. Water on three sides. Walls on the fourth. A city designed to be unconquerable. And for 1,000 years, it has been exactly that. Unconquered. Unbroken. Standing while empires rose and fell around it. While Rome itself fell to barbarians. While Europe descended into darkness. Constantinople remained. A light. A beacon. The last remnant of the old Roman world. You take pride in that. Every man on these walls takes pride in that. You are not just defending a city. You are defending civilization itself. The continuation of something precious. Something worth preserving. The sky darkens further. Stars begin to appear. One by one. Bright points in deepening blue. You know these stars. You have watched them every night of your life. Their patterns are as familiar as the streets below. Sailors navigate by these stars, finding their way across dark seas. You navigate by them too, in a different way. They mark the passage of time, the slow wheel of seasons, the continuity of the world despite human chaos. Below the walls, the moat lies still. Dark water reflecting nothing. During the day, it catches sunlight, ripples when wind blows. But now it is a band of darkness. A separation between the city and the enemy. Not enough separation. The Ottoman army is close. Too close. Their lines begin just beyond the moat. Trenches and earthworks. Artillery positions. Siege towers that have been rolled forward and back. During bombardment, you can see individual men. Running. Carrying ammunition. Preparing the great cannons. But now, in twilight, they are just shadows. Shapes moving in distance. Impossible to count. Impossible to fully comprehend. Your stomach rumbles. You have not eaten since midday. A meal will come eventually. Someone will bring bread and cheese around to guards. Watered wine. Enough to keep strength up through the night. But not yet. The meal comes later. After full darkness. After the watch has fully settled into its rhythm. You shift position again. Lean against the parapet. Stone is still warm from the day's sun. Soon it will cool. By midnight it will be cold. By dawn it will be almost painful to touch. But for now, it holds heat. Gives it back slowly to evening air. This is your favorite time. The hour between day and night. When the world softens. When edges blur. When everything feels suspended. Neither fully light nor fully dark. Neither day's alertness nor night's rest. Something in between. A threshold. You think about your family. They are in the city below. Somewhere among those buildings. Your wife. Your 2 daughters. Safe, you hope. As safe as anyone can be in a besieged city. They trust you to keep the walls standing. To keep the enemy out. To maintain the barrier between their world and chaos beyond. It is a heavy trust. But you carry it willingly. What else would you do? Where else would you be? This is your city. These are your walls. This is your duty. A bell rings somewhere in distance, calling the faithful to evening prayer. The sound drifts up to you, clear and pure in still air. Others will answer it. Other bells from other churches, creating a conversation across the city. Metal speaking to metal. Faith calling to faith. You whisper a prayer of your own. Not elaborate. Not formal. Just a few words. Keep us safe. Keep them safe. Let us see another dawn. Simple prayers. The prayers of soldiers throughout history. The prayers of men who stand between danger and home. Light continues to fade. Colors deepen. Gold becomes amber. Amber becomes rust. Rust fades to gray. Everything moving toward darkness. But slowly. So slowly you barely notice change from one moment to the next. Only when you look away and look back do you see how much has shifted. Torches are being lit along the wall. Every 50 paces. Small fires in iron brackets. They push back darkness just enough. Create circles of light where guards can see each other. Where you can check that everyone remains at their post. That everyone remains alert. The torch nearest you flickers. Flame bends and straightens. Bends and straightens. Dancing with air currents you cannot feel. You watch it for a moment. Fire is alive. In its own way. It breathes. It feeds. It moves according to its own will. Men learned to control fire long ago. But control is always temporary. Always incomplete. Fire remains wild at its core. Ready to escape if given chance. You turn attention back to darkness beyond walls. Nothing has changed. Ottoman camp still burns its own fires. Still waits in silence. Still feels wrong somehow. Andreas passes by again. Still quiet, you say to him. Still quiet, he agrees. He pauses. Looks out over walls. I have been on these walls for 40 years, he says. I have seen 3 sultans try to take this city. All failed. You wait for him to continue. But this one is different, he says quietly. This young sultan. He wants it more. Brings bigger cannons. More men. More patience. You ask the question you are not sure you want answered. Will the walls hold? Andreas is silent for a long moment. The walls have always held, he finally says. But that is not quite an answer. He moves on. Continues his rounds. Leaves you with your thoughts. You know what he is not saying. The walls have always held. But nothing holds forever. Stone can only take so much punishment. Mortar can only be repaired so many times. Men can only stay alert for so long. Eventually, something gives. Something breaks. Something fails. But not tonight, you tell yourself. Tonight the walls stand. Tonight the city is safe. Tonight you keep your watch as you have kept it every night. And tomorrow will worry about itself. Darkness is nearly complete now. Only western horizon still holds light. A thin band of pale yellow. Like a doorway slowly closing. Soon even that will be gone. And night will belong entirely to stars and torches. To shadow and stone. To waiting and watching. You settle into the rhythm of it. The long hours ahead. Nothing to do but stand. And watch. And listen. And occasionally walk your section of wall. Check the stones. Look for cracks. Make sure nothing has changed since last time you looked. Routine. Familiar routine. But tonight it feels different. Tonight everything feels balanced on a knife's edge. One breath away from tipping into something else. Something final. You push the thought away. Focus on what is in front of you. The wall. The torchlight. The darkness. The stars. The moment. Just this moment. Nothing more. Because that is all any guard can do. Stand in the moment. Hold the line. Keep watch. And trust that morning will come again. As it always has. As it always will. Night settles around you like a familiar cloak. And you stand. And you wait. And you watch. As you have done 1,000 times before. As you will do 1,000 times more. Because this is your duty. This is your place. These are your walls. And they will stand. They must stand. They have always stood. 1,000 years of history says they will stand. And tonight, in this moment, that is enough. The walls hold. The city breathes. And you keep watch. As your father did. As his father did. As guards have done since these walls were built. An unbroken line of watching. An unbroken chain of duty. You are one link in that chain. One guard among thousands. One night among countless nights. But this night is yours. This watch is yours. And you will keep it well. Your feet know this stretch of wall by heart. 20 paces from tower to corner. 15 paces from corner to next tower. You have walked it 10,000 times. In daylight. In darkness. In rain and snow and summer heat. Stones beneath your feet are worn smooth. Generations of guards have walked here. Their footsteps have shaped the very rock. You wonder sometimes about those other guards. The ones who came before. What did they see from these walls? Did they watch Crusader armies march past? Did they see Viking longships in harbor? Did they witness arrival of silk merchants from distant Cathay? This city has seen everything. Everyone has passed through these gates at some point. Emperors and beggars. Saints and sinners. scholars and soldiers. All have walked streets below. All have lived and died under protection of these walls. You are part of that story now. One more name in a list too long to remember. One more guard keeping watch through darkness. The thought is humbling and comforting at the same time. You are small. Your life is brief. But you are connected to something larger. Something that will outlast you. Or so you hope. So you must believe. The alternative is too dark to contemplate. A sound catches your attention. Footsteps on stone. Someone approaching from tower. You turn. It is Demetrius. Younger than you by 5 years. Eager. Still sees romance in standing guard. He carries a jug of wine and a basket. The evening meal. He offers you bread. Hard bread. The kind that keeps for weeks. But edible when dipped in wine. You take a piece. Thank him. He nods and moves on to next guard. The bread is stale. The wine is thin. But it is food. It is enough. You eat slowly. Chewing carefully. Making it last. There is no hurry. Night is long. Bread will be gone soon enough. You remember better meals. Feasts, even. Before the siege. When the city still had trade. When ships brought spices and fruit. When markets overflowed with goods from every corner of the world. Your wife would make lamb stew. Seasoned with herbs from her garden. Served with fresh bread and honey. The memory makes your mouth water. Makes the stale bread in your hand seem even more pathetic. But you push the thought away. There is no point dwelling on what was. Only what is. And what is enough. For now. You finish the bread. Drink the last of wine. Wipe your mouth on your sleeve. The meal sits heavy in your stomach. But it is a good heaviness. The weight of sustenance. The feeling of being fed. You will not eat again until dawn. When day shift arrives. When you can finally leave these walls. Go home. Sleep. But that is hours away. For now, you have only night. Only watch. Only waiting. Stars will slowly overhead. Following their eternal paths. Indifferent to human concerns. They shone before Constantinople existed. They will shine after it falls. If it falls. When it falls. You shake your head. Push that thought away too. The walls stand. Tonight, they stand. That is all you need to know. Hours pass. Slowly. The way hours always pass on night watch. Each minute feels like 10. Each hour like a lifetime. You walk your section. Check stones. Look out into darkness. See nothing. Hear nothing. Ottoman camp is still. Too still. It gnaws at you. This silence. This waiting. You would almost prefer an attack. At least then you would know. At least then there would be action. Purpose. Something to do besides stand and wonder. But night remains quiet. Enemy remains invisible beyond moat. And you remain at your post. Watching. Waiting. Wondering. Midnight comes. Then passes. Stars shift. New constellations rise in east. Old ones sink in west. Air grows colder. You pull your cloak tighter. But it does little good. Cold seeps through everything. Your fingers grow numb. Your toes ache. But you do not move from your post. This is what guards do. Stand through discomfort. Endure. Persist. Because walls must always be manned. Someone must always be watching. Always alert. Always ready. Even when nothing happens. Especially when nothing happens. Because the moment you relax. The moment you assume safety. That is when danger strikes. You have been told this since your first night on walls. Your father told you. His sergeant told him. It is wisdom passed down through generations. Never assume safety. Never let your guard down. The walls protect the city. But only if men stand ready to defend them. More hours pass. Night deepens. Then slowly begins to thin. Blackness becomes gray. Gray becomes lighter. Dawn approaches. You can feel it before you see it. A change in air. A shift in quality of darkness. Eastern sky begins to glow. Just barely. Just enough to notice. This is the hardest part of watch. These last hours before dawn. When exhaustion is greatest. When cold is deepest. When temptation to close eyes is almost overwhelming. But you keep them open. Force yourself to stay alert. Because dawn is when attacks often come. When defenders are tired. When visibility is poor. When world is caught between darkness and light. You watch eastern sky. Watch it grow lighter. Minute by minute. Stars begin to fade. One by one. Swallowed by growing light. Soon they will be gone entirely. Hidden by daylight. Still there, but invisible. Like so many things in life. Present but unseen. Real but unacknowledged. City below begins to wake. You hear distant sounds. Roosters crowing. Doors opening. First stirrings of daily life. People rising. Starting fires. Preparing for another day. Another day of siege. Another day of waiting. Another day of hoping walls hold. Light grows stronger. Colors return to world. Gray becomes blue. Blue becomes gold. Sun rises. As it always does. As it always has. As it always will. One more dawn. One more day beginning. One more night survived. Your watch is ending. Soon day's shift will arrive. Fresh guards to take your place. You will go home. Sleep. Return tonight to do it all again. The rhythm of your life. The pattern of your days. For as long as siege lasts. For as long as walls stand. Andreas appears again. His face is drawn. Exhausted. But his eyes are alert. We made it through another night, he says. You nod. We did. He looks out over wall. At Ottoman camp. Now visible in growing light. Tomorrow night, he says. Tomorrow night will be different. You want to ask how he knows. What he senses. But you do not. Because you feel it too. Something is building. Something is coming. But not today. Not yet. Today sun rises. Today walls stand. Today Constantinople endures. And that is enough. For now. Day shift arrives. Demetrius leads them. Fresh-faced. Well-rested. He grins at you. Quiet night? You nod. Quiet night. You are relieved. Released. Free to go. You descend stone steps. One step at a time. Your legs are stiff. Your back aches. But you walk. One foot in front of other. Down from walls. Into city. Streets are still quiet. Most people are just waking. But a few are out. A baker. A water carrier. A priest heading to morning prayers. They nod to you as you pass. Recognition. Respect. Gratitude. You nod back. Say nothing. Just walk. Your house is not far. A small building. Modest. But solid. Safe. You push open door. Step inside. Warmth hits you. Your wife has built up fire. She turns as you enter. Smiles. Says nothing. Does not need to. She knows where you have been. What you have been doing. She knows without asking. You remove your armor. Piece by piece. Set your sword aside. Wash your face and hands. Water is cold. But it feels good. Washes away night. The dust. The fatigue. Your daughters are still sleeping. You can hear their soft breathing from next room. Safe. Peaceful. Unaware of danger beyond walls. As they should be. As they must be. As long as you can make it so. Your wife hands you bread and cheese. Fresh bread this time. She must have traded something for it. Something precious. You eat without asking what. Some things are better not known. The bread is soft. Still warm from oven. It tastes like home. Like safety. Like everything you are fighting to preserve. You finish eating. Stand. Your wife takes your hand. Leads you to bed. You lie down. Mattress is soft. Blanket warm. You close your eyes. Sleep comes quickly. As it always does after night watch. Deep and dreamless. The sleep of exhausted. And as you drift away. As consciousness fades. Your last thought is simple. The walls stood. Tonight, they stood. And tomorrow night, you will stand on them again. As long as they need you. As long as city needs defending. As long as there is breath in your body. You will stand watch. You will keep the walls. You will protect what must be protected. Because this is Constantinople. This is your city. These are your walls. And they will stand. They must stand. They have always stood. Sleep takes you. Deep and complete. The sleep of duty fulfilled. Of promises kept. Of another night survived. But even in sleep, part of you remains aware. Part of you still stands on those walls. Still watches the darkness. Still listens for sounds that should not be there. You dream of stone. Of torchlight. Of stars wheeling overhead. Of the weight of your sword at your side. Of Andreas making his rounds. Of the distant glow of Ottoman fires. Dreams and memory blend together. Past watches and present watch. All the nights become one night. All the darkness becomes one darkness. You are standing on the walls again. But different walls. Walls that exist only in dream. Walls that are both solid and transparent. You can see through them to what lies beyond. To all the tomorrows waiting. To all the dawns and all the dusks. To the endless chain of days stretching forward into time. You see Constantinople as it was. Glorious. Wealthy. The center of the world. Streets filled with merchants from every nation. Ships from every port. The city of cities. The queen of the world. And you see Constantinople as it is. Smaller. Poorer. But still proud. Still standing. Still believing in its own eternity. And you see Constantinople as it might be. Empty streets. Broken walls. Silence where once there was song. But this vision fades. Dissolves like morning mist. Because tomorrow has not come yet. Tomorrow may never come. All you have is now. This moment. This sleep. This rest. The dream shifts. You are a child again. Walking with your father on these same walls. He is teaching you. Showing you. Passing down the knowledge that his father passed to him. See that crack, he says. That is where the earthquake of 1378 opened the wall. We repaired it. Made it stronger. See that tower. That is where your grandfather stood during the siege of 1422. 3 days without sleep. Holding his post while others fell around him. This is our heritage, your father says. This is what it means to be a guard of Constantinople. Not just to stand watch. But to be part of something larger than yourself. To hold the line between civilization and chaos. To protect what cannot protect itself. The dream fades. Your father's voice fades. But the lesson remains. Carved into your heart like names carved into stone. You sleep deeper. Past dreams. Past memory. Into the dark, quiet place where nothing exists but rest. Your body repairs itself. Muscles relax. Tension releases. The knots of worry loosen. For a few hours, you are free. Free from duty. Free from fear. Free from the weight of walls and city and empire. Just a man. Sleeping in his bed. Next to his wife. In his house. Safe for now. Hours pass. The sun climbs. Reaches its peak. Begins its descent toward evening. And still you sleep. Your wife moves quietly through the house. Lets you rest. Knows you need this. Knows that tonight you will return to the walls. Will stand watch again. Will face whatever comes. Your daughters play quietly. Their laughter is muted. Careful not to wake you. They understand, in their child's way. They understand that father needs sleep. That father protects them. That father stands between them and the darkness. Afternoon deepens. Shadows grow long. The house grows cooler. Your wife finally touches your shoulder. Gently. It is time, she says softly. You wake slowly. Surface from deep sleep like a diver rising from dark water. Your eyes open. For a moment you are confused. Disoriented. Then memory returns. You are home. It is late afternoon. Soon you must return to the walls. You sit up. Your body protests. Still tired. Still sore. But you push through it. Stand. Dress. Put on your armor again. Each piece familiar. Each strap and buckle known by touch. You have done this 1,000 times. You will do it 1,000 more. Your wife brings you food. Bread and olives. Cheese. You eat standing. Quickly. No time for a proper meal. Your daughters come to say goodbye. The eldest wraps her arms around your waist. Stay safe, Papa, she whispers. You kiss the top of her head. Always, you tell her. Though you both know it is a promise you cannot guarantee. The younger one gives you a small carved wooden bird. For luck, she says. You tuck it into your belt. Smile at her. Thank her. Though you know luck has nothing to do with what is coming. Only skill. Only duty. Only the strength of walls and the will of men. You embrace your wife. She says nothing. Just holds you. For a moment longer than usual. As if she knows. As if she feels what you feel. That tonight is different. That tonight might be the night when everything changes. But she does not speak it. Does not give voice to the fear. Just holds you. then lets you go. You step out into the afternoon. The sun is low, slanting golden light across the street, making everything look softer, gentler, almost peaceful. You walk toward the walls. Other guards walk the same path, all heading to their posts, all preparing for another night of watching. You nod to them as you pass. They nod back. No words needed. You all know where you are going, why you are going, what you are doing. The walls rise before you, massive, ancient, eternal. You climb the stairs, one step at a time. Your legs remember the rhythm. Your body knows the way. You reach the top, step out onto the parapet. The wind hits you, cooler now, carrying the promise of night. Andreas is already there, early, as always. He turns as you approach, nods. Ready? He asks. You nod. Ready. He looks out over the walls, at the Ottoman camp, at the thousands of fires already being lit. Tonight, he says quietly. I think tonight is the night. You do not ask what he means. You know. You feel it too. Something in the air. Something in the silence. Something in the way the enemy waits. Coiled, ready, patient. But you say nothing. Just take your post. Just settle into position. Just begin your watch. As you have done every night. As you will do every night. For as long as the walls need you. The sun continues its descent. Colors shift from gold to amber to rust. Shadows lengthen. Darkness gathers in the east. Another night is beginning. Another watch is starting. And you stand ready. You stand firm. You stand watch. Because this is who you are. This is what you do. This is your duty. Your honor. Your purpose. The walls of Constantinople. 1,000 years of history. And you are part of it. One guard. One night. One watch. But part of something eternal. Something that will not fall. Cannot fall. Must not fall. As long as men like you stand ready. As long as guards keep watch. As long as the walls hold. Constantinople will endure. Night falls. Stars appear. Torches are lit. And you stand watch. In the darkness. On the walls. Keeping vigil. Keeping faith. Keeping the city safe. For one more night. One more watch. One more dawn. This is your duty. This is your place. These are your walls. And they will stand. Tonight. They will stand. Rest now. Let your breathing slow. Let your body relax. The watch is kept. The walls are held. The city is safe. For tonight. For this moment. And that is enough. Sleep comes. Deep and peaceful. The sleep of those who know. Who understand. Who stand between darkness and light. Rest now. The walls stand firm. Constantinople endures. And the watch continues. As it has for 1,000 years. As it will for 1,000 more. Rest. Sleep. Peace. End of script. Word count, 9, 500 plus words. Duration, 85 minutes at 0.8x Clipchamp Ryan. Optimized for Google Docs, Clipchamp TDS. Continuing, final 4000 plus words. The night deepens around you. Every sound becomes significant. Every shadow a possible threat. But hours pass and nothing happens. Just the familiar rhythm of night watch. Just the slow wheel of stars overhead. Just the endless patience required of guards. You walk your section again. 20 paces one way. 15 the other. The stones know your footsteps. The walls know your touch. You are as much a part of this place as the mortar between bricks. Andreas passes by regularly. Checking on everyone. Making sure no one sleeps. Making sure everyone stays alert. Old habits. Good habits. The habits that keep men alive. Around midnight something changes. The air shifts. The wind picks up. From the east. Carrying strange sounds. Distant sounds. You strain to hear. Is that chanting? Is that singing? You cannot be sure. The Ottoman camp is too far. The sound too faint. But something is happening there. Something beyond the normal routine of siege. Andreas comes to your post. Do you hear it? You ask him. He nods. Prayers, he says. They are praying. For what? For victory, he says quietly. For courage. For what they believe God wants them to do. You listen to the distant sound. Thousands of voices raised in prayer. in one language, in one faith, united in purpose. It is beautiful, in a terrible way. Beautiful and terrifying at once. Your own prayers feel small by comparison. Whispered words in darkness. Not the unified voice of thousands. Just one man, on one wall, asking for strength. But perhaps that is enough. Perhaps God hears the prayers of one as clearly as the prayers of thousands. Perhaps faith is not measured in volume but in sincerity. You whisper your prayer again. The same words as always. Keep us safe. Keep them safe. Let us see another dawn. Simple. Direct. All you can offer. The distant prayers continue. Rising and falling. A rhythm as old as faith itself. Men calling to heaven. Asking for favor. Believing they will be heard. Hours pass. The prayers finally fade. Silence returns. But it is different now. Heavier. More oppressive. As if the prayers have changed something. Shifted something. Set something in motion that cannot be stopped. You try to shake off the feeling. Try to focus on duty. On the moment. On what must be done. But the feeling persists. Growing stronger as dawn approaches. The eastern sky begins to lighten. Just barely. The first hint of day. And with it comes sound. New sound. Different sound. Drums. Distant but unmistakable. The rhythm of war drums. Coming from Ottoman camp. You freeze. Listen. The drums grow louder. More drums joining. Until the air itself seems to pulse with the sound. Andreas is suddenly at your side. His face is grim. This is it, he says. This is the attack. How do you know? I know, he says. I have heard these drums before. This is the sound they make before a final assault. Your heart begins to pound. Matching the rhythm of the drums. Fear rises. You push it down. Focus on training. On duty. On what must be done. Other guards are gathering. Looking out over walls. Trying to see what is coming. But it is still too dark. Dawn has not yet arrived. They are coming in darkness. Using night as cover. The drums continue. Louder. Closer. Then you hear it. The sound you have been dreading. The roar of thousands of voices. Men screaming. Men charging. Men attacking. Coming toward the walls. Coming to break through. Coming to end Constantinople. Torches appear in the darkness. Thousands of torches. Moving forward. Like a river of fire flowing toward the walls. The attack has begun. Andreas shouts orders. Prepare. Ready yourselves. Stand firm. You draw your sword. Feel its weight in your hand. Feel its balance. This is what it was made for. This moment. This battle. The enemy surges forward. Wave after wave of men. Carrying ladders. Carrying shields. Carrying weapons. Determined to break through. To claim the city. To plant their banner on these walls. But you stand ready. You and 1,000 other guards. All trained. All prepared. All determined to hold. The first wave reaches the moat. Begins to cross. Using boats. Using bridges they have built. Moving fast. Organized. This is not a probe. This is not a test. This is the real assault. The attack meant to end the siege. Arrows fly from the walls. Find targets. Men fall. But more keep coming. Always more. They reach the outer wall. Raise their ladders. Begin to climb. And you meet them. Sword in hand. Shield raised. Fighting for your city. For your family. For everything you hold dear. The battle becomes chaos. Noise and movement and blood. Swords clashing. Men screaming. The smell of smoke and death. You fight without thinking. Training takes over. Your body knows what to do. Block. Slash. Push back. Hold the line. An enemy reaches the top of the wall. You meet him with your sword. He falls. Another takes his place. And another. They keep coming. Endless. Relentless. Determined. But so are you. This is your wall. Your city. Your family. You will not yield. You cannot yield. The battle rages through dawn. Light comes but it brings no comfort. Only clearer vision of the horror. Of the scale of the attack. Thousands upon thousands of enemy soldiers. All focused on this section of wall. All determined to break through. Your arms grow tired. Your sword feels heavier. But you keep fighting. Because stopping means death. For you. For the city. For everyone you love. Andreas fights nearby. Old Andreas. Moving slower than he once did. But still fighting. Still holding his ground. You catch his eye for a moment. He nods. A warrior's acknowledgement. We stand together, his look says. We hold together. We die together if we must. But we do not yield. The sun climbs. Morning full upon the world. And still the battle continues. Waves of attackers. Repelled again and again. But taking their toll. Guards falling. Sections weakening. The line beginning to thin. But holding. Always holding. Because there is no choice. Because retreat means the end of everything. You fight on. Past exhaustion. Past fear. Past thought itself. Just movement. Just reaction. Just survival. And slowly, gradually, the attack begins to falter. The waves coming less frequently. The enemy pulling back. Regrouping. The drums change their rhythm. Withdrawal. The first assault is over. You lean against the parapet. Breathing hard. Covered in sweat and blood. Some of it yours. Most of it not. Andreas appears. Checking the survivors. Counting the cost. His face is grave. We held, he says. But barely. How many? He shakes his head. Too many. The next attack will be harder. When? Soon, he says. They will come again soon. You look out over the walls. Bodies everywhere. Enemy dead piled against the wall. But your own dead too. Friends. Brothers. Men you have stood watch with for years. All gone. All fallen. All sacrificed to hold this line. And still the enemy waits beyond the moat. Still planning. Still preparing. Still determined. This is not over. This is only beginning. You close your eyes for a moment. Let exhaustion wash over you. But only for a moment. Then you open them again. Look to your sword. Check its edge. Still sharp. Still ready. As you must be. The day wears on. Repairs are made. Hastily. Desperately. Trying to shore up weakened sections. Trying to prepare for the next assault. Food is brought. Bread and water. You eat without tasting. Drink without thought. Just fuel for the body. Nothing more. The sun begins to descend. Evening approaching. And with it, you know, another attack. The enemy will not wait. Will not give you time to recover. They can smell weakness. They know the walls are cracking. They know Constantinople is failing. And they are right. You can feel it too. The city is dying. These walls that stood for 1,000 years. These walls that never fell. They are falling now. Not all at once. Not dramatically. But slowly. Inevitably. Like a great tree finally toppling after years of disease. But still you stand. Still you prepare. Still you ready yourself for what comes next. Because that is what guards do. They stand. They fight. They hold. Until they cannot hold anymore. And even then they do not run. They die in place. Holding their post. Keeping their promise. The sun sets. Darkness falls. And with darkness come the drums again. Distant at first. Then closer. Then all around. The rhythm of war. The sound of death approaching. You grip your sword. Feel its familiar weight. This is your companion now. Your only friend in what is to come. The enemy comes again. Torches blazing. Voices screaming. A vast wave of humanity. Crashing against the walls. Trying to break through. Trying to end this. And you meet them. Again. As you met them before. As you will meet them as long as you draw breath. Because this is your duty. This is your wall. This is your city. And while you stand, it stands. While you fight, it survives. The battle rages into the night. Hours blending together. No sense of time. No sense of anything but the immediate. The sword. The enemy. The fight. And somewhere in the chaos. Somewhere in the darkness. You feel something change. A shift. A breaking. The wall cracks. Not physically. But spiritually. The defense cracks. Men break and run. The line falters. And the enemy pours through. Into the city. Past the walls. Past you. Constantinople has fallen. The realization hits you like a physical blow. After 1,000 years. After generations of standing firm. The walls have broken. The city is lost. But still you fight. Not because you can win. You cannot. But because stopping is not in you. Because you made a promise. To your father. To your city. To yourself. You fight on. Until a blow catches you from behind. Until darkness takes you. Until consciousness fades. Your last thought is of home. Of your wife. Your daughters. Hoping they escaped. Hoping they survived. Hoping they remember you. Then nothing. Just darkness. Just silence. Just peace. The battle continues without you. The city falls without you. History moves on. As it always does. But you have done what you could. You stood watch. You kept faith. You held the line. As long as you could. And that is all anyone can ask. Rest now. Your watch is ended. Your duty is fulfilled. Your promise is kept. The walls of Constantinople have fallen. But you stood on them until the end. And that is enough. That is everything. Rest now. Deep sleep. Peaceful sleep. The sleep of warriors who did their duty. The sleep of guards who kept faith. Rest. Time passes. How much time, you do not know. Consciousness returns slowly. Like surfacing from deep water. Dark water. Cold water. You open your eyes. Everything is blurry. Unfocused. You try to move. Pain shoots through your body. Sharp. Immediate. You gasp. Lie still. Wait for the pain to subside. Slowly your vision clears. You are no longer on the walls. You are lying on stone. Cold stone. Inside a building. A church perhaps. You can hear voices. Distant voices. Speaking in a language you do not understand. Turkish. The enemy's language. The realization comes slowly. You are a prisoner. Or perhaps not even that. Perhaps they think you are dead. Left you here among the other bodies. You turn your head carefully. See other men lying nearby. Some moving. Some still. Some clearly dead. The battle is over. The city has fallen. Constantinople belongs to the Sultan now. After 1,000 years. After endless sieges. After so many promises that it would never fall. It has fallen. You feel tears on your face. Not from pain. From grief. For the city. For the empire. For everything that has been lost. A shadow falls across you. Someone standing over you. You look up. Expecting to see an enemy soldier. Expecting death. But it is a priest. An Orthodox priest. He kneels beside you. You are alive, he says softly in Greek. Thanks be to God. Is it over? You ask. Your voice is rough. Barely a whisper. He nods. The city has fallen. The emperor is dead. The Sultan has claimed Constantinople. My family, you say. Do you know? He shakes his head. I know nothing of individuals. Only that many fled. Many hid. Some survived. You must hope your family is among them. Hope. Such a fragile thing. But it is all you have. The priest gives you water. You drink. It hurts to swallow. But the water is good. Life-giving. There are Turkish soldiers outside, the priest says. They are allowing some to tend the wounded. I will try to help you. But I cannot promise anything. Why? You ask. Why help me? Because you are a child of God, he says simply. And so am I. That does not change with empires rising or falling. He moves on to help others. You lie there, staring at the ceiling, trying to process what has happened. Constantinople has fallen. The Byzantine Empire is ended. 1,000 years of history concluded in a single night. And you were there. You stood on the walls. You fought. You fell. But you survived. Against all odds. Against all expectation. You survived. Days pass. You are not sure how many. Time blurs. Pain makes everything hazy. But slowly you heal. Your wounds begin to close. Your strength begins to return. The priest comes daily. Brings food. Brings water. Brings news from outside. The Sultan has been merciful, he tells you one day. More merciful than we feared. There has been destruction, yes. There has been death. But not wholesale slaughter. He has claimed the city for his own. But he is allowing some to remain. Some to rebuild. Some to continue their lives under new rule. And those of us who fought? You ask. Some are prisoners, he says. Some are enslaved. But some are simply released, told to go home if they have homes to go to. Do I? I do not know, he says honestly. You will have to go and see. More days pass. Finally you are strong enough to stand. To walk. Slowly. Painfully. But you can move. You make your way outside. The city is changed. Streets that were familiar are now strange. Buildings burned. Walls broken. Turkish soldiers everywhere. But also life. People returning. Beginning to clean up. To repair. To survive. Because that is what people do. They survive. Even when empires fall. Even when history ends. They find a way to continue. You walk through changed streets. Toward where your house once stood. Your heart pounds. What will you find? Ruins? Ashes? Nothing at all? Or perhaps, impossibly, home? You turn the final corner. And stop. Your house still stands. Damaged. The door is broken. One wall is cracked. But it stands. You approach slowly. Afraid to hope. Afraid to enter. Afraid of what you might find. Or might not find. You push open the broken door. Step inside. The interior is a mess. Furniture overturned. Possessions scattered. Signs of looting. Of violence. But also signs of life. You move through the rooms. Calling out. Is anyone here? Your voice echoes. No answer. The house is empty. Your family is gone. You sink to the floor. Grief overwhelming you. They are gone. Dead or fled, you do not know. But gone. And you were not here to protect them. You were on the walls. Doing your duty. Keeping your promise to defend the city. And while you defended walls, while you stood watch, your family was lost. Was it worth it? The question echoes in your mind. Was any of it worth it? The answer is not simple. Not clear. The city fell anyway. Despite your efforts. Despite your sacrifice. Despite everything. But you stood. You fought. You kept faith. And perhaps that is worth something. Perhaps duty itself has value. Even when it fails to prevent disaster. Even when the walls fall despite your best efforts. You stood. And that matters. Somehow. Days turn to weeks. You remain in your damaged house. Searching for news. For any sign of your family. Asking everyone you meet. Did you see them? Do you know where they went? Most have no answers. But slowly, piece by piece, you gather information. Many fled before the final assault. Boats left the harbor. Carrying refugees. Heading to other Byzantine cities. To islands. To anywhere that might offer safety. Your wife was smart. She may have seen the end coming. May have taken your daughters and fled. It is possible. It is something to hope for. And hope, fragile as it is, keeps you going. One morning you wake to find something at your door. A small wooden bird. The one your daughter gave you for luck. You thought you lost it in the battle. But here it is. Returned somehow. By whom, you do not know. But you take it as a sign. Your daughter lives. Somewhere. She lives. And perhaps the others do too. This hope is enough. Enough to keep going. Enough to rebuild. Enough to survive. Months pass. The city slowly transforms. Constantinople becomes Istanbul. Byzantine becomes Ottoman. Christian gives way to Muslim. But some things remain. The walls still stand. Damaged but standing. Repaired now by new rulers. For new purposes. You find work. Simple work. Manual labor. Helping to rebuild. You know these walls. Better than anyone. The new rulers need that knowledge. So they employ you. And you work. Not for them. Not really. But for the walls themselves. Because they are still worth preserving. Still worth maintaining. Even under new masters. A year passes. Then another. Life continues. Different. Smaller. But life nonetheless. And then one day. Impossibly. Miraculously. You see her. Your wife. Walking through the market. Older. Thinner. But alive. You run to her. She sees you. Her eyes widen. She thought you were dead. You thought she was gone forever. But here you both are. Alive. Together again. She tells you the story. How she fled with your daughters. How they found refuge on an island. How they waited. Hoped. Finally decided to return. To see if anything remained. To see if you had survived. And you had. Against all odds. You both had. Your daughters are grown now. Changed by what they witnessed. But alive. Safe. And slowly, painfully, life reassembles. Not as it was. It can never be as it was. But something new. Something that carries forward what was lost. Years pass. You grow old. Your hair turns gray. Your body weakens. But you survive. You endure. Like the walls themselves. You walk sometimes to the place where you stood watch. That section of wall where you spent so many nights. It has been repaired. Strengthened. Changed. But you can still see the marks. The scars of that final battle. The places where the wall nearly broke. But did not. You place your hand on the stone. Feel its eternal solidity. Still standing, you whisper. We are still standing. And it is true. The walls stand. You stand. Your family stands. Life continues. Not as you imagined. Not as you hoped. But continued nonetheless. And perhaps that is enough. Perhaps survival itself is victory. Perhaps endurance is all that can be asked. You think of your father. Of your grandfather. Of all the guards who stood before you. They made their stands. They kept their watches. They held their lines. As you held yours. And now you pass that legacy forward. To your daughters. To their children someday. To anyone who will remember. That once there were walls. And men who stood on them. And a city worth defending. Even when defending it was not enough. Even when the walls fell. Even when everything changed. They stood. They fought. They kept faith. And that is worth remembering. Worth preserving. Worth carrying forward into whatever future comes. You are old now. Your time is ending. But before you go, before you join your father and grandfather, before you take your place among all the guards who came before, you return to the walls one last time. At sunset, at that magical hour between day and night, and you place your hand on the stone, and you whisper your prayer. The same prayer you whispered every night. Keep us safe. Keep them safe. Let us see another dawn. And you realize the prayer was answered. Not as you expected, but answered nonetheless. You are here. Your family is safe. Another dawn has come. And will come again tomorrow. And the next day. And all the days after. Because that is what endures. Not empires. Not walls. Not even cities. But life itself. The stubborn refusal to surrender. The determination to continue. The faith that tomorrow matters. Even when today is lost. You smile. Feel peace settling over you. Your watch is truly ended now. Your duty fulfilled. Not on the night the walls fell. But now. In this moment. When you finally understand. When you finally see. That the walls were never what mattered most. It was the watching itself. The standing. The keeping faith. That was the victory. That was the point. You turn away from the walls. Walk home through streets you know by heart. Past buildings old and new. Past faces Turkish and Greek. Past a city that has died and been reborn. Changed but continuing. Ending but beginning. Falling but standing. Home waits. Your family waits. The rest of your life waits. However long that may be. And you walk toward it. Not with grief. Not with regret. But with acceptance. With peace. With gratitude for what was. And what is. And what will be. The sun sets behind you. The last watch of Constantinople is over. A new watch begins. Different guards. Different walls. Different city. But the same eternal duty. To stand. To watch. To keep faith. Generation after generation. Night after night. Watch after watch.
This is the legacy you leave. Not victory. Not glory. But faithfulness itself. The simple act of standing when standing was required. That is enough. That is everything. Rest now. Your watch is ended. Your story is complete. Sleep comes. Final and peaceful. The sleep of one who has done what was required. No more. No less. Just enough. Just right. Rest.